It's game day. Packed house at Wollongong, taking on the Sharks, looking to secure a spot in finals. Now, the issue I've got is last time the Dragons had a sold-out game, all I could hear was the Bulldogs chants. All I could hear was people cheering for the Bulldogs. So today, I want to give the Dragons fans, the Dragons army, maybe some chance that they can lead on the hill, get the crowd involved, and start lifting the boys to another level. So let's pretend we're watching the game. Here they come. Let's go, Dragons! Roll in the Saints!
Oh, in the Saints!
Go marching in!
Go marching
when the
in!
Saints go marching in! I wanna be in that number! Oh, when the Saints go marching in! Oh, when the Saints!
Oh, in the Saints!
Begin to play!
Begin
Oh,
to
when the
play.
Saints begin to play! I wanna be in that number! Oh, when the Saints begin to play! Oh, when the Saints!
Oh, in the Saints!
Begin to shine!
Be
Oh, when the Saints begin to shine! I wanna be in that number! Oh, when the Saints begin to shine! Let's go, boys! Come on! Dragons! 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 Yeah! Oh, we are the St. George boys! We have a game today! We are the boys you know of! Show the Sharkies how to play. No matter where you've been, the red and white you'll see. Now aren't we a wonderful credit to our locality? We are the St. George boys. We have a game today. We are the boys you know of. Show the Sharkies how to play, no matter where you've been. Slowly, slowly. Woo! Yeah! I say St. George, you say Illawarra. St. George!
Illawarra!
St. George!
Illawarra!
St. George!
Illawarra!
You say St. George, I say Illawarra!
St. George!
Illawarra!
St. George!
Illawarra!
St. George!
Illawarra! Whoa, together now!
Dragons! 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 Dragons!
Dragons! Come on, Dragons fans! Fire up! Well, let's fire up because this one has kicked off. The Sharks get first use of the ball, and straight away they go towards the middle of the park with Oregon Kaufusi. They go two passes wide, looking for an early shift. Sharks now working through the middle. Rudolph, short pass to Nikora. Nikora chopped down by Feeney, but up quickly to play the ball. It goes to Atkinson. Now out to Ramian. Ramian, he tangles with Jack Bird, who makes the tackle. Blake Laurie got there late. Couldn't slow the ruck down. Frankie Molo tries to change the momentum. He comes up, puts on a big shot. Now the Sharks, well, that stopped them in their tracks. Kaufusi with his second run of this set. He's put down by Jaden Sewer. It goes back to Atkinson for the kick on the last. A pretty good set from the Sharks. Knock on at the back end there as Sloan tries to pick it up and counter-attack, but the first knock on will be Cronulla's. It's Dragons' ball. Well, that's a fiery start. Frankie Molo on Toby Rudolph. imposing himself in that first set. Apart from that, though, it was a pretty good set from the Sharks. So now the Dragons with their first use of the ball. Blake Laurie, who came into the starting lineup. He takes the first carry. Frankie Molo looks up and about. He has about one good game every 6 weeks. It looks like this might be it for him. Tommy Eisenhuth takes it up over the 40-metre line, looking for a quick play the ball and gets it. Straight on the back of that, punching behind the ruck goes Tyrell Sloan. Looked to see a lot of that, especially against a big Sharks forward pack. His footwork and speed and around the middle of the ruck could be dangerous. Kick goes down. Stone Street takes it. Zach Lomax couldn't get a clean grab on that one. So both teams getting through pretty good first sets with the ball in hand. And now the Sharks once again working out of their own end. As Atkinson again, the Sharks looking to go wide. I'm a little bit surprised at that. I thought they might have tried to take us on straight through the middle. Now again, a couple of passes off the ruck to Cam McInnes. Atkinson, nothing's coming directly off the dummy half as Nickera comes back against the grain. He's chopped down by Jacob Little down low. Again, they get to their kick, the Sharks. Look at the hill. It is pretty packed. Tyrell Sloan comes forward, takes that. Sloaney claiming that he was hit before he hit the ground, and I think he's got a point. The windsock is limp. No breeze to speak of today. Not like there was last week. Now Zach Lomax, he looks to bump away from Rudolph. Now Little, Tuapolotu. Tuapolotu almost goes through Brayley. He holds onto a shoelace, and that's about it. Get some help from Kafusi. Jaden Sewer, he's tackled by the markers, doesn't pick up too much territory on 5. Again, it goes to Hunt for the bomb. Jack Bird's chasing this one through along with Lomax. Bird looks like he's leading the chase. He gets to Kennedy first, collars him, and drags him down with the help of Frank Marlowe. Now Stone Street. He runs into Ben Hunt. Hunt turns the shoulder, holds him up, and Max Feeney comes in to drag him backwards. Now the Sharks taking that forward through Wilton. His first touch of the game. Now Ramian. Again, they go a couple wide. The offload goes straight into the hands of Jack Bird. The Dragons will have the first attacking opportunity of this game. 4 minutes in. Ryan Couchman, his first starting game in the Red V. He's put down 20 out from the Sharks line. Plays it back to Little. Little goes across the face of one and then tipped on to Frank Molo. Molo, he'll look to fight to his feet. They come now to Eisenhuth. Eisenhuth out the back again. It goes to Sloan. Sloan dummies, goes, almost slices through. Atkinson with a desperate tackle. Ramian holds on a bit too long. The ball comes now to Bird. Bird gets it to Eisenhuth. Eisenhuth stands in the tackle of Cam McInnes. Gets an offload back to Jacob Little. Little trying to go back through the same defenders that tackled Eisenhuth. Tommy's going to have to get into dummy half now on 5. It goes to Bird. Bird to Hunt. Hunt out the back to Sloan. There's an accidental offside. There's an obstruction, and they're going to play on. A little sloppy way to end that set there for the Dragons. Tyrell Sloan shaking his head, but Ben Hunt being a couple wide, they were up to put pressure on him and kind of forced a pass out to Sloan. Everyone was in front of Tyrell Sloan, and there wasn't too much he could do. But what he did do probably wasn't what he had in his head. And now the Sharks. They bring it away from their end. It's Toby Rudolph. Plays it inside his 40. Goes out to Wilton. Wilton. Ben Hunt just sort of slid across a little bit late there, but it all works out okay. They just get beyond the halfway line. I don't know whether there was a lot of faith in Ryan Couchman on the inside defensively. Look a little short out here. Jack Bird, though, slides across nicely. Shut that down before it develops into anything too dangerous. And another high kick with Sloan coming forward to it. He knocks it on. Brayley's knocked it on as well. That'll be knock on both ways. First one off the Dragons. So it should be a Sharks feed. Sloan came forward, got to the ball first. His leap was fine, but couldn't hold it. He knocks it on. The Dragons unable to convert with their first attacking opportunity. Now they get their first defensive opportunity. Perched up against their line. Defending against the top 4 team in the Cronulla Sharks. Atkinson to feed the scrum. Brayley goes across to Ramian, who stands up Feeney. Well, Max Feeney, his feet were stuck in tar. Terrible defence straight from the scrum win. Jesse Ramian one-on-one. Burns Max Feeney, and a bloke that is fighting to get himself a contract. That's not a good play. Just plants the feet. It's actually Matty Feeney on that side, not Max. I apologise. Terrible defence. However, you slice it, and the Sharks lead 4-0, kick to come on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. Just sort of planted his feet there, and just a little left foot step from Jesse Ramian and Matty Feeney. Not a replay he'll want to see too much of. The Sharks, they don't need much of an invitation. Their first tackle down that end of the field, and they score. It's just simple one-on-one footy, man on man, and the Sharks man was better than his opposite. Trindle back in the side for the Sharks today. Looks like he swung that one across the face. Early doors. The Sharks lead 4-0, 8 minutes gone on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. The Dragons, they had their chance. Yep, that was a soft try indeed. Matty Feeney. I've got question marks about him as a centre. I think he's a decent winger. I think he goes okay at fullback, but I've got question marks on him defensively in the centres, and he got shown up there badly. Now the Dragons need to respond. That kickoff goes very close to the dead ball line. They hand it off to Rudolph. There's Frankie Milo and Blake Laurie there to meet him. Oregon Kafusi, he runs into Max Feeney. Once again, apologies to Max. It wasn't him with that bad missed tackle on the left-hand side. He's come up with a couple of good defensive plays. The Sharks again coming towards the middle. Good tackle down low. Frank Molo chopped him in half. Cam McInnes, though, on the back of that, these fast legs and a high shot from Ryan Couchman and a penalty to the Sharks, and they look like they're running downhill early in this game. Dragons have got to find some way of getting some ascendancy in the ruck, because the Sharks at the moment just having their way with us. They tap and come towards the middle. Goes to Cam McInnes. And again, his footwork and speed in around the middle of the ruck. Something that has caused the Dragons trouble. We saw a couple of weeks ago with Kurt Mann. Caused the Dragons all sorts of problems. Brayley goes to Kennedy. Kennedy fakes the kick, then takes on Ben Hunt. He's held up, driven sideways. They want to take him into touch, but he stays in the field of play. Pass to Wilton. Wilton goes wider to Kafusi. Now to Atkinson. They're looking to use the ball and really stretch this Dragons defence at every opportunity. Atkinson plays it back to Brayley. It goes to Trindle. Trindle going across field. Coming back now is Nickera. Nickera runs into Little. Gets the offload. Now to Rudolph. Out to Kennedy. Kennedy rolls it in behind. Lomax tracks it back. He gets hold of it, but he's tackled in the in goal. And Lomax, he's not real happy with a little bit of a shove there from Iro on the back of his head right at the end of that tackle. He chased after him. And the teams come together. Well, he's fired up Zach Lomax. Went straight after Kale Iro. 3 Sharks there. He wasn't interested in any of them except Hero. Just that little forearm on the back of the head right at the end, unnecessary. Not much in it, but the Dragons do get the penalty for it. So now Max Venite takes it up towards the 40-metre line. Now Jaden Sewer. He runs into McGuinness up to halfway. Instead of getting a repeat set, the Sharks now might be on the end of an attacking kick at the back end of this one as Blake Laurie. He's rolled over. Now to Eisenhuth. Frank Molo, not the best of passes there from Eisenhuth. Molo does well to hold it. Little gets out of dummy half quickly. Eisenhuth on the back of that, and he's slammed down onto his back and slowed down once more. Tackle 5. We're about 25 out. It goes to Molo now to Ben Hunt. Hunt flicks it out to Sloan. Sloan fires one out to Zach Lomax. Lomax trying to create something into Max Venite, and then a chip from Max straight into the hands of Braden Trindle. Trindle's going to play the ball. The way they were getting up, I thought that Max had been penalised for a high shot, but didn't look to be anything in it, and there wasn't. Just a bit of carry on from the Sharks having a whinge. The seatbelt tackle at worst there from Max Venite, and Braden Trindle clutches the top of his head. What a sissy. Something wrong with him. Now the Sharks get out of dummy half again with Nickera. Nickera has the arms free, and he gives a free piggyback ride up over halfway to Tommy Eisenhuth. Jack Bird gets tangled in the tackle, and he's come up a bit ginger, has Bird. Another kick goes down to Sloan. Sloan takes this one more comfortably. Goes across looking for a crease in the Sharks' defence. Can't find one. He plays the ball. Now Lomax. He looks to step inside Rudolph, but Rudolph makes a good tackle down low. Jaden Sewer at Hero. The Dragons, well, they're just making hard work of it. Slow play the balls. Struggling to get out of their own end, but that'll help. Struggling to get out of their own end because the Sharks are offside in front of the referee. That'll give us a great opportunity to, again, kick down into a dangerous attacking position. We once again get the wide view, the beautiful view of the Wollongong Ocean. Matt Venite looking to make up for his earlier faux pas. Terrible missed tackle to allow the Sharks' first try. Jack Bird underneath to Frank Molo. Molo looks to run through Kafusi, who just holds on. He's had a strong start, Frankie. Eisenhuth tips it on to Blake Laurie. Laurie, he's met and put away by Teague Wilton. Now Little, again to Hunt. Hunt puts a little chip over the top. Lomax tries to climb high. Stone Street is tackled back into the in goal. Was there a hand from Lomax? It was. He's ruled to have knocked it on. It wasn't the last tackle, so it'll be a scrum. Sharks feed. Well, the Dragons, they might need to find some extra avenues to points. Simply just bombing to Lomax, as a replay clearly shows Zach Lomax is the man that got a hand to it and knocked it forward. So correct decision from the referee. 14 minutes gone. The Sharks lead 4 points to nil on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. Ramian runs into Ryan Couchman. He makes the tackle. Now with Hiroti into the starting lineup for the Sharks, or into the lineup altogether with no Muatalo. And now a penalty to the Sharks with the Dragons offside. Teams just trading penalties, giving them away. Nath Battershall says we need to sign a decent winger. Matt Venite is not an elite NRL winger. The Sharks now on the attack. Last time they were down here, the Dragons couldn't hold them out. Goes to Atkinson. He goes right to the line, squares up the shoulders. Trindle to Nickera. Nickera runs straight into Ryan Couchman. Couchman says no further. Atkinson to McInnes to Kaufusi. Ben Hunt had run up a long way past the ball. The pass from Kaufusi goes about 15 metres backwards. Now it ends up with Trindle. Trindle goes across field. Ramian goes across field. He bumps away from Eisenhuth. He gets through Jaden Sewer, and Frank Molo makes the tackle. Now Brayley out of dummy half. One-on-one with Tyrell Sloan. He was isolated, but Tyrell Sloan comes up with a ripper of a tackle there. Atkinson goes to Trindle. Trindle dribbles it in behind. Feeney gets across to cover it and will be tackled in the in-goal area. He tries to reach out to get it back in the field of play. Britton Nicker is claiming that he was taken out in the chase, and we're going to have a look at it. Kine says no try. Be up to the bunker now to have a look at this one and see what he comes up with. Jack Bird will be the culprit. Bird's not attempting to make a tackle. I think I'm hard pressed to say that Jack Bird turns to go towards the ball and Nickera runs into him. Not a lot of contact. I don't know how they're going to rule this. I honestly don't. Certainly not going to be a try. I wouldn't be surprised if they call that a penalty, but I don't think it should be. I'm not sure what Matt Feeney's trying to do there. He's trying to get back in the field of play, I know, but that was a dangerous play where he could have easily lost the ball. Looks like common sense is going to prevail there. Nickera should be penalised for milking. Now we go the short goal line dropout. A bit of depth on it. The Dragons trying to get through to it. A lot of Dragons have hit the deck there. I don't know. Blake Laurie got taken out. I'm not sure why anybody would take him out. He's not going to be a big threat of getting the ball. Interesting to have another look at that because there was a few Dragons players that certainly got taken out in that chase. McInnes. Again, a good tackle from Frank Molo down low. Tyrell Sloan in there as well. Brayley out of dummy half. Rudolph charges towards the line. The defence holds up, stands tall. There was urgency there from Tyrell Sloan to get across there as well to help out if required. He wasn't. Blake Laurie comes up with an important tackle there. They stop Toby Rudolph from barging over. So now to Kennedy. Kennedy to Trindle. Short ball to Wilton. Ben Hunt comes up with a try-saver of his own. We're racking them up. We've put ourselves under plenty of pressure as Trindle bombs away. Tapped backwards by the Sharks. A second kick to a Pelotu. He makes a meal of it. It's picked up by Feeney. Matt Feeney down the sideline, bouncing away from one. Cops a high shot from Ramian. Jack Bird is claiming straight away that's got to be 10 in the bin. The referee has said that the bunker will have a look at it. He certainly got him high. Personally, I think, actually on that replay, he's just got him high. He's got him flush. And there's a case to be made that he could be sitting down in the sin bin. Here comes Ramian. On report and in the bin. Jesse Ramian shaking his head. He's not sure where he's got to go. The Sharks' first try scorer. It's always a difficult one to handle when you do have a centre in the sin bin. It'll be an opportunity for the Dragons to attack, a place for the Dragons to attack. He knows he got him high. He got him flush. It'll be 13v12 for the next 10 minutes. This is an opportunity for the Dragons. We've got to make the most of it. Jay says send him to the bin, and they do. Now Laurie. Laurie runs into a couple of big Sharks, and he's thrown down by Rudolph. Jack de Bellin's out on the field. A great first stint from Frank Milo. Only 17 minutes, but very impressive. Now Bird to Ryan Couchman, who puts it down. Well, just tried to turn Couchman underneath. The pass may have been a little low, but you're entitled to catch that, I think. Another simple fundamental error from the Dragons. They may well shake their head, but you just can't afford to be making like forced errors is one thing, but that's completely unforced. That's just simple rugby league skills of catch and pass, and we're falling down and failing in those simple basics. And it's hard to do the fancy stuff when you can't do the basic stuff right. Now the Sharks, Kaufusi, another offload. He's getting a few of them going. And it's getting the Sharks moving forward. Jaden Sewer, he's missed about 3 tackles already to start this game. He misses another one there on Teague Wilton. He does come again to affect the tackle. Now they go across, turn that underneath to Kaufusi. Kaufusi put down onto his back. Now it goes to Trindle. Trindle to Rudolph. Rudolph runs into de Belin and also Laurie over the top. Now Brayley goes across field, goes out the back to Atkinson. Now Max Vinai's missed a tackle. They go out wider to Iro. Iro stands, has the arm free. He's held up. They'll try and take him into touch. They will take him into touch. That's good defence from the Dragons. They held off Iro as long as they could. And as soon as Zach Lomax had to get involved, he did. They hold him up and they take him over the sideline. But the Sharks, they do look slick. They do look dangerous. That's a bad miss on Kennedy from Max Vinai this time. Ben Hunt, though, he just does well. He does well enough there, Ben Hunt. Holding up Kale Iro. Waited for the reinforcements to get in there as Luciano Leilua. He's out onto the field inside the first 20. Christian Tuapolotu can't get up ahead of steam before he's shut down by Wilton. The line speed from the Sharks has really been giving the Dragons absolutely nowhere to go. That one comes free. Zach Lomax is going to feel like there was a hand in it. There was a hand on the ball, but you've got to hold on to it. There's no stripping motion. I think, again, Zach Lomax wants to challenge it, but that's going to go with the referee's call. Even if we do challenge it, they're going to call that as a loose carry. There's no obvious stripping motion from Kaufusi. And another mistake from the Dragons, just too many. I think Jay says we can't win if we don't get the basics right. Absolutely spot on. And the Dragons are not doing a great deal right in this opening 20 minutes. The good news for Dragons fans is we're only down 4-0 on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. The repeat set, 6 again. Inside the 10 there, the Dragons. Now with McInnes. Underneath to Kaufusi. Kaufusi again trying to get the arms free. Eisenhuth makes sure he can't this time. Now Brayley goes to Rudolph. He runs into Couchman. Now Trindle off the legs there of Ben Hunt. Hunt gets to the ball first. Well, they're going to say accidental offside here for Jaden Sewer. And the Dragons are going to challenge this one. I think Sewer thought about touching it 3 or 4 times. Ben Hunt kicks this one up. He sticks his leg out. He plays at it. Bounces up. Hits the Sharks' legs up into the head there of Ben Hunt. I don't think it has touched Jaden Sewer at all yet. Comes off Ben Hunt's head. Again, Sewer's in front of him. puts his hands up in the air, then thinks about picking it up, but it's Ben Hunt that picks it up. It should have been play on, and it might have been a Dragons break because Hunt then passed the Lomax with no one in front of him. Challenge successful. And then the whistle blows. I can understand what the referee saw, but he got that wrong. The frustrating thing is you don't know how much further the Dragons would have been up the field if they hadn't blown the whistle. I know it's a hard thing for the referee to play advantage there when he thinks there's a knock on. Bring it back and call the knock on 40 metres downfield, but it's still frustrating as a fan. Zach Lomax, he's again trying to take the marker out of play. It's Jack de Belin. De Belin caught high there by Kaufusi. No whistle from the referee, though. Now Eisenhuth. Ryan Couchman looks like he's moved into the middle with Luciano Leilua coming onto the field. De Belin goes out now to Leilua. Leilua goes out to Sloan. Sloan to Tuipulotu. Tuipulotu takes on Hiroti. Hiroti gets across and makes the tackle. Now they come back towards the middle. On tackle 5, Ben Hunt will go to the sky. Zach Lomax will do your best from about 30 out. Zach, he flicks it back inside to Feeney. Max Feeney now puts that in behind. He chases through, gets to the ball first. Max Feeney beats one, gets a pass infield. Jack Bird will score! Try Dragons! Well, there is some rugby league miracle off the top of their heads. Max Feeney comes up with some brilliance, and it's Jack Bird that dines out tonight with a try. Well, the bomber cross was not one of Ben Hunt's best. Lomax drops it backwards, picks it up, flicks it inside to Max Feeney, who just dribbles it in behind. He gets to it before Will Kennedy, breaks through a feeble tackle from Kennedy, and then throws the speculator looking for Jaden Sewer. Goes past Sewer, hits the deck, there for anybody who wants to pick it up, and the man that wanted to pick it up was Jack Bird, and it's 4-all kick to come on the Complete Warehouse Solution scoreboard. Well, I think that comes back to this one from Nath. Saying great challenge, Dozer. A great challenge. We then got You Bloody Beauty. What a try. And John Muller says Sloaney's looking good. He's right in this game. I agree. Apart from the one bomb that he put down, he's been in and around the ball quite a lot. He's been good defensively. He looks to be showing a newfound urgency in everything that he does. There's none of this sort of lackadaisical attitude that we've seen from him through his career so far. He looks like he's really switched on. And I think going to have a big impact on this game as we take the lead as Zach Lomax knocks that one over. And the Dragons lead for the first time in this game, 6 points to 4 on the Complete Warehouse Solution scoreboard. Just update that on a banner on the screen. So people can see what the score is if they're not watching on Channel 9 with the volume button on mute, listening to my bias commentary instead. It is the Dragons leading the Sharks 6 points to 4 on the Complete Warehouse Solution scoreboard. "24 minutes gone in this first half. It's Couchman. Got to have a look at the number every time. It's still Ryan Couchman out on the field, who started the game on the edge. He's now moved into the middle with Luciano Leilua coming onto the field as Lomax tries to get the arms free for an offload. Still 2 minutes and a penalty to the Dragons. So that's Zach Lomax again fighting to get it up, not being allowed to. Cameron McInnes gives away the penalty. So with 2 minutes left, with 13 on 12, the Dragons with an opportunity to really punish the Sharks now for that high tackle from Jesse Ramian. Matt Feeney taps and goes. Ramian's coming up towards the sideline, ready to come back into the fray as it goes to Bird. Bird goes to Couchman. Couchman looks to keep the legs driving up towards the 40-metre line. Quick. Well, he definitely got a help there. He got to his feet and then gets knocked out, but he's going to be ruled to have made his second error there, Ryan Couchman. I think that one's a tough one against him. I think it might have got the help of the knee or the arm here of Toby Rudolph. There's the knee there of Rudolph that knocks that free. I think if we challenge that one, we might have won it, but we not challenging. So it goes down as another error against Ryan Couchman. He's had a pretty unhappy 25 minutes starting the game for the first time. The Sharks will get through this set and be back to their full complement. A high tackle penalty against Couchman trying to make up for it. Referee sort of stopped the clock. He wants the bunker to have a look to see if there's any further action to be taken here against Couchman. I think he's had 2 errors and given away 2 penalties, so nothing further. He's looking for the square up Klein, but bunker says no dice. They'll be back to the full complement at some stage in this set. Jack Williams is onto the field, as is Tommy Hazelton for the Sharks. Couchman comes up with that tackle. Now McInnes to Williams again. He's flung to the ground by Leilua. Now Brayley goes to Atkinson. Atkinson goes across. Kennedy goes back infield. Atkinson now with the ball. He comes back the same way. Runs into Ben Hunt. Stops in his tracks and puts him down to the ground. Plays the ball back to Brayley. Brayley fires it across to Wilton. Wilton to Hazelton. Hazelton dummies on the outside. Put down by Couchman. Now Trindle. Trindle cut out past to Iro, and Iro steps inside. Max Feeney and the Feeney twins are having a mare. Another missed tackle. 1 on each side. Kale Iro goes over, and the Sharks regain the lead, 8 points to 6 on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. We'll just catch step from Kale Iro, 1-on-1 with Max Feeney, who can't make the tackle. Lomax looks at his centre in disgust. Disappointed and upset, and another pretty soft try with just a simple missed tackle from one of the Feeney twins. We've put ourselves under plenty of pressure, and that is going to tell on the scoreboard at some point. Nath J, that was too soft. Well, again, we had a chance to attack. We come up with the error from Couchman. We come up with the penalty from Couchman. The Sharks get down this end, and then a terrible missed tackle from Max Feeney. Absolutely right. You are kidding me. Not fantastic rugby league from the Dragons. They've been their own worst enemy for a lot of this half. I don't know that the Sharks have been necessarily the better team. Just the Dragons have been the worst team so far. So it was a successful conversion. It's 10 points to 6. 28 minutes gone. Euro. He wants a penalty. He's not going to get one. Now Nickera. He again finds his front, quick play the ball. Bird is in the ruck. Does his best to try and get out of the way. Now Sloan. Sloan put down, plays the ball. It goes to Lomax. Lomax bounces away from Cam McInnes. Brayley comes in to help finishing him off. Now Feeney. Little gets out of dummy half. Cam McInnes wasn't square, surely. And it is a penalty to the Dragons. Sloan wants a quick tap. I don't think that's the best option. Kick for the line. Take the territory on offer. Let's go on the attack. Clever play from Jacob Little. A high shot from McInnes in any case. Now Tuipulotu takes the tap, takes the 10 metres on offer. Now Bird. Toby Couchman out onto the field. Jack DeBellin. DeBellin ducks the head and goes straight through the tackle of Williams. Put down 20 out. Now Eisenhuth goes to Hunt. Hunt steps as he catches it. That's a touch there from the Shark. Should be 6 again. Sloan slips over, gets up, goes again. Now to Max Feeney. Feeney, he breaks through the tackle of Kennedy. Before he's put down 12 out from the Sharks line. Now Toby Couchman. He takes the settler. The Dragons look to set something up. Ben Hunt sweeps around to the left. He gets the ball first. Turns it underneath to Eisenhuth. Eisenhuth down low is Brayley. He'll play it now back to Little. Little, he goes to Bird. Bird to Hunt. Hunt goes out the back to Sloan. Sloan takes on Iro. Iro does well. Good tackle, one-on-one. Sloan unable to break through. Now they'll come back towards the middle once more, the Dragons. Toby Couchman just kind of standing in the way. Ben Hunt's not happy. That's broken down in terms of what he wanted to do. Now to Bellin. Goes to Bird, tips it on, out to Leilua. Leilua fires a pass high out to Tuipulotu. That whole set was ugly. Whole set was ugly. Never any fluency in that attacking set at all from the Dragons. Everything looked disjointed. They didn't look like they had a clear plan in terms of what they were trying to do or what they were trying to achieve. And it finishes, well, fittingly, it must be said. Leilua throwing a poor pass to Tuipulotu. Can't hold on to, and it goes into touch. So now the Sharks. There's Jay. Little's a great buy, always doing the tough stuff, absolutely. He's been very good once again today. Leilua has to back himself. Good to have Jordan on the stream as well. Just enjoying me footy, mate. And figured I might as well sit here and do this if I'm going to watch the game. Probably a bit quieter if I actually sit here and call the game rather than yelling and screaming and carrying on. So the neighbours probably prefer it. John Muller's hoping our second half will be much better. Well, we've got to stay in touch, as he says. Royce Hunt onto the field for the Sharks, the big barrel-chested front rower. Now Tommy Hazelton, he runs into Toby Couchman and Jaden Sewer. Little comes in down low, chop down the tree. Now they go to Trindle. Trindle going across and has Nickera running that crash line. Eisenhuth comes up with a good tackle. Hunt has another crash play, trying to target Tyrell Sloan, who stands up to it, along with Couchman, but he's still struggling towards the line, and that we need Leilua to come in over the top to make sure he can't promote the ball. Now to Atkinson. Atkinson looks to bounce away from Leilua. JDB comes in to make the tackle and help him out. Tackle 5. Goes to Trindle. Trindle to Kennedy. Tips it on to Stone Street. He steps infield. He gets the ball to the ground. Breaks through the tackle of Tom Eisenhuth and scores a try. Well, he didn't look like he was any chance of getting that to the ground. And somehow Eisenhuth drops off the tackle. Looks like Feeney is hurt as well. And he gets the ball to the ground and the Sharks score again. Makes good first contact, Tommy Eisenhuth, but just can't hold on to the winger. There's a few decoy runners. I think they're all clear. I don't think there's any chance of this being taken off the Sharks. Well, the fact is the Dragons' defence, once again, should have done better. They adjusted well. The sliding defence did a good job. I just didn't come up with a tackle when it was needed. Max has done his shoulder. Well, it looks like he's done his shoulder, as John Muller suggests. Michael, listening in, riding our bikes along. I don't even know how to pronounce that in France. Wow, fantastic. Great to have you listening along as that one, the kick is waved away. So the try confirmed by Stone Street. The Sharks out to a 14 points to 6 lead on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. The Dragons, well, they're just not helping themselves, it must be said. John Muller says might be a blessing in disguise with Max Feeney going down. He's off the field, so there is going to have to be an adjustment. I wonder if that we'll see Laikan King Togia come into the game and Jack Bird potentially switching into the centres. I'm not sure exactly who's come on to replace Max Feeney. Whether we will see young LKT get some extended minutes in the halves. It's the kickoff. Royce Hunt charges back at Leilua. DeBellin and Toby Couchman involved in that tackle as well. 14-6 on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. The Sharks in front. Looks like Ryan Couchman has come back onto the field, not Laikan King Togia. So that's, I've got to say, that's disappointing for mine. Would like to see that Jack Bird move into the centres and LKT get his chance in the halves. He's on the bench. That's what you've got him on the bench for. But that's not the way Flanagan's gone. Nickera gets the pass to Atkinson. He gets to the fullback. Sloan again comes up with that one-on-one tackle. He shaped the kick and Sloan didn't balk. Hazelton looking to crash over. Two Couchmen involved together. The little kick goes through. It's on the ground. I think Toby Couchman's got the ball. And he'll come up with it. So the Dragons survive. But the defense is shaky at best. At the moment for the Dragons, they look like they desperately need half-time as Matt Feeney steps through the middle. Picks up a good 15, 20 metres. Wants a quick play the ball. Jack Bird goes to Sewer. He bounces through the tackle there of Wilton. Put down by Trindle. Now DeBellin. He goes back in behind the ruck. Runs into Hunt. They get to the kick on tackle 5. A high one down to Hiroti. Hiroti brings it back, runs into Couchman and Little. So it looks like Jaden Sewer has moved out into the centres, as he has done before. And Ryan Couchman has taken over on that edge. That's the way that Flanagan's decided to go with the reshuffle required due to the injury to Max Feeney. Short ball to Williams. He's put down. Again, the Sharks just 30 out from our line as Atkinson puts a high kick down to Sloan. Sloan climbs high. I think that's knocked on by Kennedy. Play on now for Ben Hunt. Hunt, he gets an offload back to Tuipulotu. Tuipulotu looks to go through Brayley. He gets about 15 metres out before he's put down. He'll play it back to Bird. We're 2 minutes until half time. It's Matt Feeney, nowhere for him to go. Down by 8. There's Little again out of dummy half. Goes down a short side. Takes some good metres once more. The pass to Sloan. Sloan looks to take on Royce Hunt. Can't find the gap between Hunt and Hazelton. Royce Hunt just using the knee, pushing. There's a bit of push and shove here. Jack Bird comes in. Royce Hunt wants to start the push and shove with Tyrell Sloan. It's good to see Jack Bird in there saying, pick on someone your own size, champion. Now Jack DeBellin. No penalty or anything comes out of that. DeBellin put down on tackle 5 and it goes to Hunt. Hunt's going to go to the sky and Lomax is going to charge through, but it's going to be too deep. Kennedy tries to get his foot back into the in goal, but he's just short a perfect kick. Zach Lomax, he seemed determined to give away a penalty there, but doesn't. They go down that side now with Iro. Great defence from Couchman getting across. Ryan Couchman slid across, showed good lateral movement to make that tackle on Kale Iro. Now a great tackle from DeBellin. That's perfect copybook technique. Looking to set some sort of tone to give us something to play with heading into the halftime break. Now Royce Hunt, he'll stand in that tackle. He's put down by Hunt. Eisenhuth in there as well. And Trindle, he bombs away. Tyrell Sloan making good ground. It slides down, genuflecting. Takes it brilliantly. Now across to Lomax with the final plays of the set. I don't think the Dragons are going to fire any sort of trick shot in this last 10 seconds. The pass goes across to Leilua. There's not too much doing here. Leilua just takes a hit up. We've got about 2 seconds left. We'll get one last play. No, we'll get no last play. The referee's got the ball, and that is half-time here at Wynn Stadium. And the Sharks leading 14 points to 6. They've got tries to Stone Street, Ramian, and Kale Iro. The Dragons try to Jack Bird. Set up with some good lead-up work from Max Feeney, who has gone off injured. Max did have some poor moments as well with a poor defensive miss on Kale Iro for the Sharks' second try. But it does feel like Cronulla have been on top for the majority of that 40 minutes. So the fact that we go into halftime only 8 points down, I think is somewhat of a positive. I think we can fight back from there, but we've got to play much better in this second half than we did in the first 40. We made a lot of mistakes, and I think we didn't help ourselves through a lot of that half. As I'll just bring up the stats, and we'll have a bit of a look at the stats of the first half. So let's first of all go to the game stats. So the team stats. The Sharks with 60% of the ball in that opening 40. So they've had plenty of it. They've completed at 90%. That's always going to be difficult to contain. Now, if you've got a team that's got 60% of the ball, they're completing at 90%, they're going to be hard to beat. You've got to hope that turns around. The Dragons, on the other hand, 13 from 18, 72% completion. You're not going to win too many games against bottom 4 teams with a completion like that, let alone top 4 teams. So the amount of errors that we've made haven't been good enough.
19 missed tackles in the first half from the Dragons, 10 from the Sharks. So, that's not too bad, I suppose. But again, you see the amount of runs, so that they've 105 runs to 79. The Dragons just having to do a lot more defence because of the errors that they are making. And 84.87% effective tackles. So 21 missed tackles to 10 from the Sharks, 15 ineffective. And we've had to make, almost 60 extra tackles. That's 10 extra sets of 6 that we're having to defend because of this stat right down here, 7 errors. Only 2 from the Sharks, 7 errors from the Dragons. That's going to be hard to combat, even with the sin bin for the Sharks there in that first half. It is 7 errors that has put us under plenty of pressure. In terms of player stats, so let's head over to the other column, see which players are standing out. I was pretty impressed with Frankie Molo's first stint. Only got 17 minutes, but he looked pretty strong. 4 runs for 35 metres. He had some good tackles in there as well. So 17 tackles without a miss in 17 minutes. Not too bad. Jacob Little with 31 tackles in the first half. So he's once again leading the way defensively. Tommy Eisenhuth with 23. Ryan Couchman, 21 tackles from him. Toby hasn't been out there all that long with 11 tackles. So it's the defensive numbers. We haven't had a lot of ball, so you're going to think that run meters are not going to be all that high. Matty Feeney with 106 run meters is leading all comers for the Dragons. But in terms of the forward pack, Jack DeBellin, 53 meters there, is the leader of the forward pack, again coming off the bench and doing a fair job. But most players in around that sort of 30-meter mark. So some work to do for sure. If you compare that to some of the Shark stats, I'd imagine they'll have some forwards that have got a fair few more metres than what the Dragons do. Oregon Kafusi, for example, played just the first 26 minutes and has run for 85 metres, 95 metres from Britton Nickera in the first half. Toby Rudolph with 107 metres. So they've got a lot of forwards that are making a lot of metres and they're making them easily. Their defensive stats probably not going to be quite as impressive as, for instance, Jacob Little's. Their most tackles made from any one player is Brayley and Rudolph with 17. But Toby Rudolph has been, he's probably been the best player at the park if you're going just off those stats. But certainly the Sharks, they just look like they've been the better team to me in that first half. I think they're playing good footy. Dean Toomer, they're saying not confident so far. Hunt needs to take control now. Again, I don't know about that. I think Ben Hunt and the Dragons play their best footy when Ben Hunt actually does a bit less. Jack Bird, I thought, got into first receiver a lot last week and allowed Hunt to play more as a 5'8". We haven't really seen that too often here today. And I think that's obviously disappointing not to have seen that. And maybe that's something that the Dragons will look to work on. But a big second half coming up. 8 points is nothing. If we score first in this second half, then we're right back in it. But we have to come out of the sheds with the right attitude. Kelly just starts pointing out the Dragons made a lot of mistakes. Yes, they did. And that's, we've been our own worst enemy. I think there's, when we haven't been making mistakes, I don't know whether the Sharks have had any way of getting into good field position and scoring tries and adding to their scoreboard without us helping them through our own errors. Whereas you look at the Dragons try, it didn't come from a Sharks error per se. It was a bit of individual brilliance from a few players. Max Feeney probably in the main that just allowed the Dragons to score that try. But we've had to do too much defence. We've put too much pressure on ourselves with our own errors, and that's something we've definitely got to sort out. Hope Flano absolutely blasts them at half time. again, they look like a team that's feeling the pressure. They've come into this game and they've played fairly nervously and a bit too cautiously perhaps at times, and need to get back and execute the game plan. They simply haven't executed at all in that first half. Yeah, Ellie also saying that the same as Gary, that Flano needs to get into him. Ill discipline from the Dragons. Yeah, there's been a bit of that as well. Although in terms of penalties, I think it's only 5-4 the penalty count. So, I don't think there's too much. Discipline-wise, there definitely has been a couple of penalties, but it's been more the errors that have really cruelled the Dragons and hurt us. We have a look at the Legends game going on. There's Beau Scott, Paul Gallen, Jeremy Lattimore out there as well for the Dragons. Like Mark Coyne, was that perhaps in the Red V as well? Wade Graham for the Sharks. Good to see the old legends out there having a go. Kyle Stanley out there for the Dragons as well. So that's really good to see. Pathetic attack as usual, hit up and lazy. It's the attack at times. I think there was certainly one set of six the Dragons had on the Sharks line where I didn't think they offered too much and finished it off with Leilua throwing it over the sideline. So there certainly has been some poor attack at times from the Dragons, but they haven't had enough opportunities down that end of the field to judge it too harshly. I think, again, in general, we tidy up those errors. We get a bit more of a chance to have ball in hand and we can maybe build towards something. But it has been pretty stark so far. The Sharks just simply put the better team. And it shows on the scoreboard at the moment. If this continues, I can definitely see it blowing out in the second half. But the Dragons have got to come out with the right attitude in this second 40. And I'm absolutely certain they can get back in this game if they play their best, they complete their sets. Plenty of passion on the hill there from the Dragons fans. Plenty of yelling and screaming. So there's more than enough reasons for the Dragons to come out here and compete in this second half. Liam Fallon on there saying, watching the live stream, coming back from Cairns now on a plane. Hope you enjoyed the trip up there, mate. Looking forward to having you back. You didn't time that too well, though. On a plane as the Dragons game is happening. Shout out to Matt Roberts. From Corel Nicara Fox. Fellow Dragon rider. Matt Roberts in the comments as well. Shout out to a fellow Dragon diehard. Absolute BS first half performance. Yeah, certainly wasn't our best performance of the year. It's been like that as a Dragons fan, unfortunately, most of the season. And one week we're really good, and the next week not so much. But yeah, certainly the errors from the Dragons is it's really hurting us. 7 errors to 2, 5 penalties to 4, as Simon also points out. And all the Sharks tries were off the back of that. I 100% agree. Said that just a moment ago, that the Sharks haven't shown an ability to be able to get down the other end without us helping them do it. If you're going to give them that sort of field position, they're going to take it and they're going to convert. They've been really good in those one-on-one situations, particularly their centres, Jesse Ramian and Kale Iro, have shown to be far too good in those one-on-one situations up against the Phenai Twins. But yeah, we're giving them them opportunities. We're giving them those chances to get into those positions. And if we can cut that out, if we can get rid of those penalties and errors, as I said, I think we can get back in this game. Still a long way to go. 40 minutes, 8 points is absolutely nothing in a 40-minute game. So we need to turn it around, though, and need a much better second half. And we've shown at different stages this season that we can come out in the second half and be a completely different team to what we were in the first. And that's what John sort of says as well, echoing my sentiments. We know the boys can play a good half. And it's, yep, it really needs to be this half. Yeah, it's if the Sharks score first, I can definitely see the Dragons doing what the Dragons do. If the Sharks score first, the heads could drop and the floodgates could open and could end up being a really ugly scoreline, another one to add to it to 2024. But if we come out of the gates, and play well in this second half, and I think then from there we can really go on with it. If we score first, we'll get back to within 2 points. It'll be game on from there. Michael White, I asked the same question in the call, live in the call. Why didn't Togia come on, Bird cover centre? That's exactly what I would have done. That's the solution I would have come up with. It's a reason why you've got Lachlan King Togia on the bench, is if an outside back gets hurt, you can bring him on into the halves and Jack Bird can fill in, no matter who it is. Jack Bird can fill in at fullback, in the centres, whatever it is. That's the reason. Why do you even have Lachlan King Togia on the bench? If when this happens, that's not what you do. I don't understand. What is the point of him? What is the point of having him on the bench if he's not there to cover that exact scenario? I know we've had, Jaden Stewart's gone out into the centres in one game earlier this year, and it worked pretty well. And he played a really good game, and that's the way that Shane Flanagan's decided to go. So, that's the way he's decided to go. Hope Flano resets him for the second half. It was flat, no ball first half. Gallo Pies need to sponsor Big Donny. Well, the missus trying to get me off the pies at the moment, mate. So maybe you'd have to sneak them to me under the counter, just under here, mate. Yep, give me the Gallo Pies. Why not? Let's get into it. Righto, we're not too far away from kickoff in the second half now. Brendan Daly, surely the lads know it's up to us to keep the rest of the teams at bay and keep us in the 8. Again, putting a little bit of space between us and those other teams that are chasing us are definitely worthwhile. I see a few empty seats. Well, again, maybe that accident and the stabbing and all that sort of stuff that was going on, I don't know a lot about it, but there was a massive traffic jam, so maybe a few people decided not to make the trip down despite having tickets. Liam Fallon saying he was right about LKT getting selected on the bench on the Tuesday preview. I didn't disagree with you, Liam. I said that it was a possibility. I just thought it was a stupid thing to do, and it's been proven to be a stupid thing to do by the fact we've had a centre injured and he hasn't come on the field. What is the point of having a utility on the bench if when an outside back gets injured, you don't put him on? So I didn't disagree with you. I just didn't think it was the right move for the Dragons. I don't understand the point of having a guy that his only plan to use him is to come on in the last 5 minutes once the game's over. Anyway, we're back underway now. The Sharks leading 14-6. The Dragons with their first use of the ball as Couchman looks to step past Royce Hunt. Can't get through. That's Toby Couchman. Ben Hunt, he's going to be kicking from inside the 30, so a great defensive start from the Sharks. They're looking to pick up from where they left off. And this first tackle, Will Kennedy goes inside the Dragons' half on tackle 1. That is a dreadful start for the Dragons, but a great start for the Sharks. They look like the ones that have come out of the sheds. We talked about it for 10 minutes, about how the Dragons needed to come out fire and brimstone. They've done no such thing. They look like they have doused themselves off, and there's no fire left. Third tackle, the Sharks on the attack with Hazelton. Hazelton dummies on the outside. Couchman makes the tackle along with Little. Brayley goes to Trindle. Trindle, he goes short ball to Nicker up. Good tackle from Luciano Leilua. On tackle 5, Brayley goes to Atkinson. Atkinson looks to go through the tackle of Bird, and Bird makes the tackle, and they'll hand it over a metre out from our line. What have the Dragons got? Do they have a response? The first set the Sharks have, and they're right down on our try line. Yeah, Tuapolotu comes in for a carry. He runs into Williams and Hazelton. Royce Hunt's looking to set a tone. Ryan Couchman fights to his front for a quick play of the ball. Now Tommy Eisenhuth. He looks to step off the right foot but doesn't beat anyone. Teague Wilton makes the tackle, and Eisenhuth, well, he's slow to his feet. He's not in a good way here. Eisenhuth, maybe he thinks it was a hint of well, he's got hit high there from Royce Hunt. Coming over the top. It's got him in the head. His eyes are rolling. He's going to have to come off for a head injury assessment, I would imagine. Here, Eisenhuth. We'll get the penalty. And on report, no sin bin this time. And I don't disagree with that. I know there'll be Dragons fans screaming for him to go to the bin as well. John Muller, we are dead set hanging by a thread. 2 minutes in and we're hanging by a thread. It's scary, John. It's scary, John, but we're hanging. We're hanging in there. I did, and the guys would back me tonight. No, they wouldn't, because we're not doing the show tonight. But everyone's at the game, and they're going to go out and enjoy themselves. So there's going to be no Mad Dragons vodcast Sunday night. Frank Marlowe back onto the field. He had a good first stint. He'll look to have a good second one. Now, Jaden Sewer gives the ball back to Little. Ducks underneath one tackle. The ball out to Bird. Bird turns it underneath to Leilua. Leilua comes back to the same spot. He goes in behind. Jacob Little has to submit in the tackle. There's an injured Dragon down. It's Jack DeBellin. Looks to be in some discomfort. Now Couchman, Toby Couchman, going through the middle, had the arms free. No one with him. No one backing him up. Little goes to Bird. Bird goes to Hunt. Hunt goes out to Sloan. Sloan puts a little kick through. He could have run through that gap. And Zach Lomax nods down and claims the try. Well, there's a lot to unpack there, but I think the Dragons have scored through Zach Lomax. I've no doubt they'll check for possible obstruction. Just looking at the lead runner there of Jaden Sewer. Everyone just sort of stopped. I'm not sure what happened. There doesn't seem to be any reason for it, and Zach Lomax scores. I think that's just a try. Well, they're looking at this from a few different angles. Hasn't been confirmed yet. Lomax is setting up to have the conversion attempt. And now they're going to have a look at it. This little push here from Sloan might also come into calculations. He gets both hands and gives a shove there on Iro. That might be the reason why they take this offers. And they're not looking any further. So no try. Penalty against Sloan for that just littlest of shoves there. And the Sharks get the penalty. Now the Dragons looking to load up defensively. They've got to keep their heads up after having that go against them. They've got to cross the line. They've showed that they can. Now to Atkinson. He's a pass to Hunt, Royce Hunt. He's picked up on Molo down low. Toby Couchman over the top. Now Williams. He runs it Little. He's made 1,000 tackles, Jacob Little. There's another one. It's Hazelton. Runs it to Bellin. Toby Couchman again involved. Pass comes back. And the kick from Trindle. He goes to the sky. Taken by Tuapolotu. Well, he can hear the footsteps coming. Takes it and hits the deck straight away. Matt Feeney. Tackle 2 still inside our own 10. Tuapolotu lined up for another carry, but Bird says, I want one. Just takes the run from dummy half. Plays the ball back to Little. Now Tuapolotu gets his second run of the set. Now Leilua gets up towards the 40-metre line, but still going to be kicking from deep inside our own territory on the final play. Deep kick from Ben Hunt. Goes down to Stone Street, who runs into Toby Couchman, who stops him immediately. Good shot from Toby. Now Iro. And a penalty now to the Sharks for a high shot. And again, discipline, errors. We keep helping the Sharks out. Now it's with Cronulla. Again, beating Jaden Stewart. He's up there on that missed tackles count, I reckon, Jaden Stewart. Teague Wilton runs into Max Feeney, who's back out there. So Max has been cleared of that shoulder issue. Must have just been a burner. The problem with that, of course, is that now we've wasted an interchange on it. Goes out, tipped on. Tuapolotu, if he can pick that up cleanly, he's got no one in front of him. Tuapolotu, we know he's got no speed. He only gets to the 40-metre line before the Sharks run him down. Geez, we need some fast wingers. Now Couchman up to the halfway line. The Dragons trying to just will themselves back into this game. Goes to Bird, across to Hunt. Hunt goes out to Sewer. Sewer gets the pass back to Hunt. Back to Bird. Bird just skipping across field, bounces away from Atkinson, stands and backs forward, gets the pass back to Little. Little now to Molo. Molo. He's put down in the tackle there of Royce Hunt. They work the short side with Ben Hunt. Hunt short ball to Jaden Sewer. Sewer, he thought about popping one out the back. He'll play the ball quickly to Little. Now it goes to DeBellin. DeBellin, he goes right to the line and he's put down. On tackle 5, they go to Jack Bird. Bird to Leilua. Leilua, he dribbles one in behind. Feeney's trying to get through on it. Leilua's got to make the tackle on Roddy. Jack Bird gets to him after Leilua misses and tackled in the in goal. Repeat set coming. Well, that was better from the Dragons. 47 minutes gone in this game. The Sharks lead 14 points to 6 on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. But how about the deft touch there of Luciano Leilua, just rolling that one into the in-goal area and getting his side a repeat set of 6. I love the drone shots from Wynn. The short goal line dropout goes about 6 metres and into touch. The Dragons will get to play the ball 10 metres out from the Sharks line. Let's see what sort of plan they've got this time. They look disjointed from similar situations in the first half. See if they can set something up have a real crack at threatening this Sharks line. Frank Molo with the first carry, and he gets driven backwards. Great contact from the Sharks. Now to Hunt. Hunt going across field, inside to DeBellin. DeBellin stands in the tackle, complaining about a high shot himself. He'll play the ball back to Little. Little goes to the line, out the back to Bird. Bird gets it out to Hunt. Hunt onto Feeney. Max Feeney coming back against the grain. Good tackle from Trindle. Zach Lomax out of dummy half, gets it back to Feeney. Feeney, he dances as well. Bounces away from Brayley before he takes the tackle. Now Hunt. Hunt goes to the line, out to Sloan. Sloan gets it out to Matt Feeney and passes over the head of Christian Tuipulotu. And another pretty poor attacking set, it must be said. From those situations inside the 10, they just seem to want to go side to side to side to side. And it's easy to handle for the defence. They just keep sliding across. We don't actually threaten with any direct runners. Everything is side to side. We need to be more direct when we're down those ends and we're attacking their line. It's the attack is not good enough there from the Dragons. John Muller, he says the same thing. Attack has been horrible. The only try we scored was from an absolutely horrendous kick from Ben Hunt, and then played a bit of ad-lib football. That's the only time we've been able to create anything is when we've done something completely different. The Sharks break. Molo again charging up on Williams. He holds on to him by Little Jack. They put him down. Now they come through the middle through Hamlin Uele. And this kick will come from just on the 40. Tyrell Sloan's not taking a chance with it. He tracks it across and takes it on the full. I'm sort of looking for a 40-20. I don't know whether his foot touched the line before he kicked it, but it doesn't matter now. As Christian Tuipulotu runs into Brayley. He's put down 30 out from his own line. It goes to Lomax. Lomax gets away from the tackle of Williams. Stands in the tackle of Brayley. Williams and Nickera come through and make the tackle. Now with Couchman. Couchman looks to step through the middle, wants to offload, does. Gets it back to Frank Molo. Molo standing in the tackle as well. He doesn't offload, though, on tackle 4. Jacob Little's waiting for instruction. DeBellin overruns it. The kick early in the count from Ben Hunt right down into a corner. Well, this is different. That's not a bomb for Lomax. Moeni Orotti, he certainly was not expecting that. And the Dragons trapped the Sharks down in a corner. What is that? That is something we haven't seen from Ben Hunt all year. That is something Big T has been screaming for on the vodcast all season from Ben Hunt. Just kick low, kick to a corner, and an error from the Sharks, and here come the Dragons. Tried to play the ball too quickly there, Daniel Atkinson. He's knocked it on. And Ben Hunt, he's trying to lift the team. You know what he's saying? Come on, Dragons fans. Fire up. Here we go. 14-6, the Sharks lead. We've got 28 minutes left on the clock. An 8-point margin. And a chance to go a step closer to securing finals in 2024. We've got a scrum feed in good position. Here is the chance for the crowd to get involved. Let's hear them make some noise. Oh! Well, that's got to be a penalty against Atkinson. There's no way he was at the base of the scrum. The half has to retire behind the last feet, mate. There's no way in the world he was onside. So we tap and go. With Toby Couchman. He's been strong. But he's put down there, 10 out. Centre field. Jack DeBellin. Bit of footwork on Williams. Hamlin Welle. Oh, there's a hand in there. That's pushed out by Brayley. Put him in the bin. That was absolutely blatant there from Blake Brayley. Just knocking that out with his hand. Not in position there. They do take the tap. It goes now to Molo. Molo rolls over. He's not far from the line. Now Little goes out to Bird. Bird underneath the Leilua. Leilua. They're just pounding through the middle here so far. Jack de Belin with the crash play. Tries to duck underneath a couple. Trying to set something up this time. It goes to Bird. Bird, short ball. Goes to Jaden Sewer. Good tackle down low from Trindle. Quick play the ball, though. It comes out now to Hunt. Hunt dummies to the first run. It goes to Sloan. Sloan dummies goes. And another important tackle, this time from Brenton Nickera. Ben Hunt gets out a dummy half. An offside player should be 6 again. Has to be 6 again. Well, Nickera comes up with a great tackle there on Sloan. And some clever play from Ben Hunt. Runs it an offside Brenton Nickera, who got involved in the tackle. So we do get the repeat set. Again, the referee makes the correct decision. He's been pretty solid today, Klein. Certainly not everything right, but I think he's had a good game for the most part. He hasn't been the reason we're behind. Little goes to Bird. Bird double pumps, goes to Hunt. Now to Sloan. Sloan to Leilua. Leilua, he double pumps. Goes to Christian Tuapolotu. Yeah, he's in the corner. The Dragons, they score the try. It's 14-10, kick to come. Well, it was coming. You could feel it. We were building. Guy says, I wish Johnny's neighbour. Well, the neighbours probably complain a bit more when I'm not commentating the game. I'll make a bit less noise. Bit more noise when I'm not commentating. Going and screaming and carrying on. This was coming here for the Dragons. John Muller, I'd love to see the King out there, referring to Lycombe King Togia. He's a bit of speed and energy. Look at that young fan. He is absolutely pumped and wants to get involved. He just wanted to touch Christian Tuapolotu. He's never washing that hand again. We're back within touching distance. I said at half time, if we score the first try, we are well and truly back in this game. Luck would have it. We are well and truly back in this game. I just love the visuals here at Wynn Stadium, don't they, the cameramen? They always find the beautiful sunset, the fantastic views of the ocean. Zach Lomax, that's not such a beautiful view, though. 55 minutes gone. 14 points to 10. The Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. We're back to certainly within striking distance. Feels like we've got a bit of momentum going our way. Did good try. We needed that. We certainly did. We had to be first to score. That was the main thing. It didn't really matter how long it took, as long as we were first to score in this second half. Feel like that's something that can give us the momentum we need, along with the crowd. It's a packed crowd here at Wynn Stadium. A chance for them to really start making some noise. Lift this team, intimidate the Sharks. This is where the fans can play their role. Jaden Sewer gets it up towards the 40-metre line. Jacob Little takes off again. He's been fantastic. Another good run from him as Jack de Belin will go to Ben Hunt on the blind side, and Hunt goes back to the traditional tried and true. Bomb down the blind side, down to Stone Street. He runs into Jaden Sewer. Sewer this time makes good first contact. Now, Iro. He's been brave enough to run at Lomax since their little tussle earlier in the game. Now, Ramian. He punches him behind the ruck, runs into Jack DeBellin. Tom Eisenhuth over the top, finishes him off. Plays it back to Brayley. Brayley out of dummy half. There's one of his most incisive runs. It's only about a third as good as the worst one from Jacob Little so far today, but good on him. Hamlin Welle, he bounces away from a couple before he's chopped down low by Frank Molo. Now it goes to Trindle. Trindle, he's going to go to the sky. He puts it up. A tester here for Tyrell Sloan. They fly high. Will Kennedy gets up, snatches it out of the air, and the Sharks get their try back in next to no time. Score under the post with Will Kennedy. There's no way they're going to take that one off him unless he's offside. Well, the Dragons, they worked so hard to get themselves back into it. They give it up pretty quickly, pretty easily. No real support there for Tyrell Sloan. He was just perched underneath it. The man with the momentum came through. Had a clean run at it there, Will Kennedy. Takes it out of the air and does indeed silence the crowd. I know there'll be a lot of fans out there that'll criticise Tyrell Sloan for that, but there was no blockers, no support, nobody running back towards Sloan to give him that room. Most teams they'll create that little umbrella around their catcher, so there's no easy path for someone to get to it just like that. So I think there was a bit of laziness there from the Dragons in not getting back to support their fullback in that situation, and it's cost us 6 points. And suddenly, we've got the biggest lead of the match for the Sharks. It's 20 points to 10, and it comes not long after we just got ourselves right back in this game. And now we're back to the drawing board. 58 minutes gone. 22 minutes left and down by 10, and we're back in that same situation where we need to be next to score. Hamlin Uele. Now at a dummy half goes Brayley. He finds McKinnon, who runs into the shoulder of Frank Molo. Thanks for coming. Now Nickera. Nickera has the next carry. Brave man as it goes to Trindle. Trindle goes across to Williams. Williams pulls out of the tackle a little. He's told to play the ball. Little completed the tackle according to the referee. Now it's with Kennedy. Kennedy, well, he's got a try, and now all of a sudden he's got his tail up. He's dropped the ball, though. He's dropped the ball on the last tackle. He's getting up. He's just thrown it on the ground, and they've come up with an error. Jacob Little's down on the ground. He's slow to his feet. He might be out on his feet. He's done plenty in this game, Jacob Little. The trainer says, well, have some pickle juice, a jar of cement, and get back in there. Because you've got 20 minutes more to get through, son. You're a key to us winning. Key to everything that we do is Frankie Molo. Molo finds his front. Wants a quick play. The ball should have got a quicker one. Now to Bellin. I hit the edge there with Jaden Sewer. Sewer's flung to the ground in the tackle there at Trindle. His defence has been impressive today, Braden Trindle. It's Tom Eisenhuth. He's held up. Hamlin Welle. Also Kale Iro in that tackle. Frank Molo goes to Sloan. Sloan underneath the Luciano Leilua, and Leilua's lost the ball. The Sharks straight away look to counter-attack. It goes across, and Teague Wilton steps straight through, fends off Blake Laurie. Laurie comes again to finish off the tackle. Well, that was a tired Tom Eisenhuth out on that edge as well. Maybe it's time for him to have a bit of a breather. Molo holds Cameron McGuinness. Here come the Sharks. Jesse Ramian going across field. Skips past Laurie. Runs into Sewer. Eisenhuth holds on. Hamlin Welle. He runs into Little. Adelaide Lua. They make the tackle. That's only tackle 3. They're inside our 20. Atkinson goes to Trindle underneath the Iro. Iro looks to spin out of the tackle of Eisenhuth. I'm worried about his levels of fatigue right now. There was another sloppy attempted tackle. Now Nickera goes through. He goes straight through a tired Jacob Little and dots down beside the post. Well, there's a few Dragons that have just run out of puff. And the Sharks score to make it 24 points to 10. And that might be close to all she wrote. Well, it was those two players that I've noticed that were starting to look a little tired. It was that Nickera went straight through here. Little, Eisenhuth, they were clutching. Just threw arms out. Their legs look like they're made of jelly. Not quite fit enough. And again, fairly poor use of the bench. No sign of Laikum King Togia. Now he'll probably come on when it's too late. Trindle. He'll knock this one over, you would think. And the Sharks will lead 26 points to 10. Well, there's still time for the Dragons if they're good enough, but well, they look like they've got too many players that are far too exhausted, and it doesn't look at all likely. They got back into the game at 14 points to 10, but they've conceded 2 tries in 8 minutes since then, and disappointingly, they've let this one flip. It's a 26-10 margin. 17 minutes to go, 16 points behind. Now we've really got to start playing some catch-up football. Hamlin Welle, he bounces out of the tackle there of Hunt. Jack Bird gets in there. He hasn't given up. He's still ripping in Birdie. They go down a short side. Iro bounces it out of the tackle of Lomax. Now Atkinson wants to step through the middle as well. Well, the Sharks, they're just running downhill at Wynn Stadium. Cameron McInnes runs into Blake Laurie. He doesn't regret it. Now it goes across to Nickera, the try scorer. King Togia's out on the field. And the Sharks come up with an error. There was a young fella there standing in front of Britton Nickera. He didn't have to do much to force the error. He just stood there. But good to see him out on the park. He'll get the impossible mission to try and create something, do something amazing to get the Dragons back into this from an almost unwinnable position. They go a couple off the ruck from the scrum to Blake Laurie. Now Jaden Sewer. Sewer runs into Rudolph. He's held up. We're told to play the ball. Back to Little, who goes to Lomax. It's all just one out stuff here at the moment for the Dragons on tackle 3. Lomax plays the ball. Little gets out of dummy half. He has a little bit of an exploration around the corner to Ben Hunt. Inside hits the referee. God damn it, Klein. Well, that was a try to Zach Lomax for your life. And it hits the referee's bald noggin. Jacob Little, he's been brilliant. Goes around the corner, the pass inside to Zach Lomax and it hits Klein, that should be a penalty try against the referee. Ben Hunt can't believe it. And instead, we don't even get a restart of the tackle count. We don't get a scrum, nothing. No advantage to the Dragons. It's just to play the ball to the Dragons. And the tackle count stays the same as it was. Absolute horrendous rule. Now Hunt gets the pass back to Sloan. Sloan looks to skip through the tackle there of Wilton, but Wilton holds on. Going on the short side, and Hunt's just going to bomb for Lomax and hope for the best. Lomax gets up high, gets the ball, can't get to the ground though. They'll hand it over. Well, Lomax, the first one he's been able to get to. He gets up, he takes the catch. But plenty of Sharks around there to stop him from being able to get over the line. He should have scored. After that Ben Hunt break created from Jacob Little, if not for the referee getting in the way. Can you believe it, Lachlan? My son, he doesn't want to get involved. 26-10, the Sharks leading in the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. The Sharks complete another set. Boot it down to Tyrell Sloan. Sloan will bring it back, try and bounce away from the first attempted tackle. They're trying to come up with a one-on-one strip, and they do. Sharks ball. Teague Wilton comes up with it. They get out of dummy half through Brayley. Now to Atkinson. Atkinson going across field, turns it underneath to Ramian. Ramian, he's trying to step through the middle, almost runs in behind Cameron McInnes. Takes that advantage. He's put down by King Togia. Now they go across to Trindle, to Kennedy, who's shut down straight away by Ben Hunt. They work down a short side now with Wilton. They get the pass out to Stone Street. Stone Street celebrating the try and says, yes, he's got it. The referee's going to come across and point to the spot. Well, everybody sort of stopped and gave themselves up as though that they couldn't believe that was possibly a try. Stone Street just stood there waiting for the accolades of his teammates, and it took a while to get there. Have another look at this replay. The last pass from Kale Iro. Not called forward. Jack Bird can't believe it's not called forward because it's forward. It's a good catch from Stone Street. They're not going to check a forward pass. The touch judge wasn't in position to call it. The referee's not in position to call it. They're just going to go with it. That's a try, a second one for Stone Street. That is officially game over. The Sharks are running away with it. Yeah, it definitely is forward, Henry. But again, in those sorts of situations, the touch judge drops backwards to watch the sideline. That's his job, his role. So he's not in line with the play. The referee is running around in the in-goal area. He's not in line with it to call on the forward pass either. None of the officials are in the right place to actually rule on a forward pass in those situations, which is why the bunkers should be allowed to rule on it. It's clearly a forward pass. Everyone can see that it's a forward pass. None of the officials are ever going to be in the right position to make that call. So you've got to allow the bunker to rule on it. Unfortunately, at the moment, that's not the case. As they knock it over from the sideline, it is 32 points to 10. The Sharks running right away with it. And, well, as hard as it might be to take for Dragons fans, the scoreline is a fair reflection of this game. The Sharks have been far too good for the Dragons in this contest. They've been the better team by a 22-point margin at least. They have comfortably been the better team. And now the scoreline is starting to reflect that. I felt like the Dragons were holding on. If they were good enough, they were close enough. But throughout the opening 69 minutes of this game, they simply have not been good enough. And that is continuing. You've got to show some pride, something here in this last 10 minutes because we need to find a couple of wins to finish off this season We'll stay in the top 8 for now, and our destiny will still be in our own hands. But performances like this against that top team shows that at the moment we're just making up the numbers. We need to be much better than what we currently are. The Sharks, simply the better team here today as we head into the final 10. A Trindle short ball to Wilton. Wilton backs up over the halfway line, put down by Jack Bird. Bird's been pretty good again in the halves. Although perhaps part of the reason why our attack has been pretty flat. Nickera, Jesus Christ, that's a good line. It's a good tackle from Luciano Leilua on him. Pass from dummy half, not the best. It comes back to Atkinson for the kick, and he still gets a good piece of that ball. Puts a bit of pressure on Tyrell Sloan, who goes back and does take it. He runs back, and he gets smashed by Brayley. Now Lomax. Lomax steps past Rudolph, straight into the clutches of Brayley. Not quite as a dominant a tackle this time from Blake. Now Little. Little gets out of dummy half and uses the offside player again to his advantage. Tuipulotu. Apart from his try, he's been pretty quiet today, Christian Tuipulotu. Goes to Couchman. Toby Couchman's been good. Ryan's had his moments. Good offload there from Toby to Eisenhuth. Not sure what he's still doing on the field, if I'm quite honest. He is out on his feet. Pass to King Togia. King Togia tips it on to Jaden Sewer. Jaden Sewer says, what did you give it to me for? There is nothing doing. He just puts up the high kick. Zach Lomax knocks it on. The Sharks knock it on. It'll be a double knock on and hand over Sharks ball. Nath J says it will be a bloody miracle if we play finals. I disagree. I think it's almost certain we play finals. We'll win our last 2 games. Canberra are not that good. We'll beat them. And Parramatta are the other team we play, who are at the bottom of the ladder for a reason. I think we're a very good chance of playing finals, mate. Whether we go any good in finals, that's another question. I think we'll play 1 game in finals and then we'll be out. But I think we'll make finals. Despite this loss, pass comes out to Ramian, who goes past Little. Ramian's into the backfield. He dummies to Kennedy and takes the tackle there of Feeney. Matt Feeney makes the tackle. The pass goes across to Atkinson. Atkinson fires it out to Trindle. Trindle goes right to the line. Lomax charges up out of the line. Carl Hero throws it over to Stone Street looking for a hat-trick, and he knocks it on. Well, there's a couple of blokes that have played the full 80 through the middle of the field that, I don't know whether they've quite got the fitness. Jacob Little is starting to fall off tackles at will. Tom Eisenhuth has got nothing left to give because wasting 2 interchanges on Max Feeney probably hasn't helped. He hurt his shoulder and then came back on, but he hasn't done too much in the second half. They may as well have left him off. Now Christian Tuipulotu, a nice carry. He's put down. He's slow to his feet here, Tuipulotu. Now it goes to Hunt, out the back to King Togia, onto the fingertips of Tyrell Sloan. He gets it out to Jack Bird, who I think is playing on the wing now. And that one looks like it's been stripped out. Must have held on to it as Tyrell Sloan at first receiver. King Togia goes across, knocked on by Ben Hunt. Well, that about sums up our day. Yeah, I agree with that, Nate. It's definitely disappointing. This has been a dreadful performance. But this is a top 4 team. Our next 2 games are against teams that are outside the top 8. We can beat them. We can beat teams that are outside the top 8. But we can't beat these teams that are in the top 4. We can't go close to them. We can't compete with them. We're not in their league. But, the teams in 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, we can compete with them. Different ball game. I'd say the top 6 teams are too good for us, and we won't beat them. And that's proven here tonight. The Sharks looking for a 9th win in a row against the Dragons. 32 points to 10 they lead on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. Cameron McInnes tips that one on. Rudolph to play the ball. McInnes again, looking to find some space through the middle. Kafusi. He's chopped down low. Good tackle from Leilua. Atkinson. He fires it back, changes the point of the attack to Trindle. He rolls it in behind. Lomax tracks it back, gets hold of the ball. He wants to dance and try and get back in the field of play, look for a stupid offload. He doesn't throw it. He just takes the tackle in goal. Ben Hunt says, give me the ball. I want to do a short dropout. We're down by 22 with 5 minutes to go. He still believes we can win. I don't know about that. We're going to look for the short dropout. Well, he gets on with it quickly. He finds touch, which means it'll be a scrum. Loose head and feed for the Dragons. It's a scrum. Ben Hunt knows the rule. None of the Sharks know the rule. None of the Dragons know the rule. Ben Hunt screaming at his players to get in and pack the scrum. You find touch from a restart. It's a scrum, not a play the ball. That rule hasn't changed yet. Shane Flanagan looks a little despondent. Dragons continuing to play. King Togia. Out to Couchman. He plays the ball. It goes to King Togia against short ball. To Feeney. Matt Feeney. You almost got to say first name for the Dragons today with 3 brothers out there. King Togia. Goes out to Toby Couchman, goes out to Lomax. Lomax into the backfield. He puts a kick in field. Tyrell Sloan chasing through. Sloan, it's tapped by Nickera over the dead ball line and saves a try. We're leading 32 points to 10. All his teammates get around him. He's worked really hard today, Britton Nickera. There was nothing to be gained really for him to get back and save that try, but just that effort from Nickera here was fantastic. The kick from Lomax was good. Jacob Little should have been running onto that uncontested, but the effort from Nickera is something to behold. The penalty for the Dragons. They're in front of the kicker from the goal line dropout. Dragons want to take the tap. They give it on to Blake Laurie. Laurie gets bent sideways. Tries to fight to his feet. It goes to Hunt. Hunt holds it up. He gets hit from behind, picked up by Brayley. He shrugs away from Little. Little's giving chase. Lomax gives chase. Goes out to Stone Street. Stone Street now inside the 30. He beats Lomax. Great tackle, Jacob Little. Well, how about that effort from Little? He is exhausted and he still managed to chase 80 metres and make that tackle. They score on the next play to Roddy. So it's all for nothing. There's the Sharks really going on with the job. But Ben Hunt just hit as he tried to pass it, and straight away the Sharks went on the attack. What do you say? What do you say? All right. Yeah. I'm done. Unbelievable. $36 points to 10. The Sharks get another try. Maleni Horoti adds his name to the score sheet. There's plenty on there now. John Candy. Good to see you're still alive. We have too many reserve graders. We tried really hard, but class difference is apparent. Absolutely. This is the top 14. The Cronulla Sharks are starting to run into a bit of form. Starting to play some good footy. Far too good for us today. Another conversion attempt from out wide. It's 38 points to 10. Getting towards the back end of this one now. Dragons kick off. We're into the final minute. Cronulla 38-10 on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. It's been a poor performance from the Dragons start to finish. There's been very little to like about the performance from any of the players. An error there. Toby Couchman. Double knock on. We're not going to have time for the scrum, you wouldn't think. As the Sharks look to secure their position in the top 4 and the Dragons, they're back to the drawing board, just trying to secure their spot in the top 8. There's plenty of teams that are coming for the Dragons. I think there's a few teams coming for the Dragons that are outside the 8 at the moment that teams inside the 8 would fear a lot more than they'd fear the Dragons right now. I don't think there's any team that's inside the top 8 that would be scared about running into the Dragons during finals. There's nothing to show in that performance to think that they'd be much more scared of the Broncos or even the Knights or the Raiders. I think offer more danger, more possibility of causing those upset wins and upset performances than what the Dragons do. So I think the other teams in the top 8 are hoping the Dragons still make the 8. I know Dragons fans want to make it, but really, I think we're making up the numbers there. A really disappointing performance. We go down 38 points to 10. I think I'll stick around, call the NRLW game. That'll be starting in the not too distant future, but I'll do that on a different stream, and we'll keep that one separate to the NRL one here today. But pretty poor one from the Dragons, tough to take, and we'll call that a day. And I'll go and try and pick my bottom lip up and hopefully cheer the girls on. That one looks tough as well, up against the undefeated Sharks. But stick with us. We'll be back with that one shortly. Thanks for joining us for this. Sharks winning 38-10 on the Complete Warehouse Solutions score.